Today we're talking with Adam Monica from TV on Guitar, one of the fastest growing guitar channels on YouTube. What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me down here. I'm excited.
I do want to talk about your chops for a second here, okay? Because they're blinding, all right? And I've been playing for 20-something years now, and I don't think I've seen anything like it probably ever. Where have you been hiding this whole time, man?
It's funny because you say that, but like I feel like I'm super critical of myself. So like I'll do something and it's not like perfect in my head. And I'll be like, this sucks. It's like the worst thing ever.
We're always our own worst critic. But dude, like there's, at least in our small pond, which is the VGM cover space, I mean, you're setting it on fire. Well, I mean, I want to talk to you about, Gerudo Valley. I want to talk about your viral videos. But I mean, first there's a heavy flamenco influence in your playing. And I'm curious, when did you first start getting into flamenco? Like, can you take me through like what your first exposure was?
Sure.
Do you have formal training? Did you go to school,
So the flamenco stuff, first off, I never really had a lot of flamenco. I never learned a lot of flamenco technique or played a lot of flamenco. Honestly, the first time I really did a song like that was Gerudo Valley. I don't know why it came out so flamenco-like, but there's a lot of Spanish guitar in classical guitar repertoire, right? We're always playing like a lot of Albanese and that kind of stuff. And I think that's where most of it comes from, like leyenda, that kind of thing. So I don't know why. There's just always lots of rasgueados in Spanish guitar, and all the guitar repertoire I learned, I've been playing for since I was like 10 years old, that I heard it and I was like, oh, this is like a flamenco track that
so
they
you just
made.
were just emulating it all
I was literally, emulating what I thought, because like they have limitations with the sound chips and stuff in the game. So like that's what they were going for is what I was thinking. Like, oh, I know what they're going for. I'm going to do that on the guitar. But really, like, it's never like I was like a flamenco guitar player. That was just my classical guitar technique from playing Spanish guitar coming out, trying to do what I thought they were trying to do on that track.
That's so interesting because, like, if you didn't tell me that, I think, wow, this guy has been formally trained in flamenco, took flamenco lessons, because it comes through in all your covers. You throw rasgueados everywhere, and they're clean.
I do a lot of rasgueados.
I mean, you can tell you've been doing it for years.
There's a couple different techniques like that I use a lot, where it's like just obviously like that. I still don't know what to call this. I did like a tutorial on TikTok, and it took me forever to figure out, what do I even call this thing? Where you just fan out all your fingers. To me, it's just rasgueado.
Isn't that what it is? Yeah,
but I think if I knew more about flamenco, I might know the right terminology for it. I could not for the life of me find it online. I'm just, that's the move. All the fingers, fanning them out like that.
I loved that tutorial. I thought that you broke it down really well. That one where you're it was not the formal tutorials that you've been doing, but it was just that quick, like, how-to on TikTok.
On TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, and that was... I was trying it,
Yeah, it's just just had the strumming pattern and
the
I feel like cool. I got a lot of comments on that where people are like, "Oh, awesome, got it, thanks."
But they were being like tongue in cheek, like, I could play it now. Yeah,
now I got it. Sweet,
dude. Okay, well, I gotta say that's kind of a relief because I feel like my music vocabulary is so limited,
dude.
And so when someone asks me, hey, what do you call that? Or how do you play that? Or I'm at a loss usually. Like, dude, I honestly I think we've been playing for so long, we kind of forget how to communicate that or teach it. I mean, I know I'm a terrible teacher, so it's just. Dude, I thought you were going to come in here and just start. Well, I studied under so and so for 6 years, and we were at this conservatory.
Oh, I did. I was like classically trained. Like I had. I took lessons from a dude named John Sutherland, he actually went to a Segovia masterclass back in the day.
Okay.
He's good buddies with, or he was, he's dead now, but he was good buddies with Chris Parkening.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
Oh, Chris Parkening was, he's still around, but he's like one of the all-time, in my book. I don't know if people still think that, but he's like one of the all-time classical guitarists.
So you're classically trained?
Classically trained, yeah.
Was that just a one-on-one instruction, or was it at school?
I started when I was 10,
Oh, wow. Okay.
My brother and my dad just like took us down to the music store, and he decided he was going to do piano, and I wanted to play like electric guitar. I owned an electric guitar. I didn't know how to play it. I remember when we were at the music store, and I saw the guy, like when I bought the guitar, he was like playing with distortion, and I didn't know what distortion was.
Yeah.
I was just like, how is he making those sounds?
Oh, that's cool.
And I was just like so enamored with it.
You were just 10 at the time.
Yeah, I was like so in the dark. Like I didn't know how he's doing like this wizardry. So I wanted to play electric. And my dad made me get classical lessons because he was like, if you learn classical, you'll learn better technique and you can always go play electric later.
He's a smart man.
Yeah. I mean, it was totally the right move. But then I just latched onto classical.
Wow. But so if you started when you were 10, you've got about a decade on me, because I think I first picked, I mean, not quite, I picked it up when I was like 16, electric guitar.
Like teens, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't start taking classical guitar seriously until way later.
That's interesting.
Like,
so you started
in my
electric.
mid-20s. Yeah, I was in a death metal band. I was in a bunch of different, groups in high school, and we were just kind of just pounding away on the guitar, But I was always interested in like lead guitar. I always wanted to be like
shredding.
Dimebag Darrell and Malmsteen, like all those cats that, like, I thought Malmsteen was the pinnacle.
I went through the same thing in high school. Like I just started playing classical earlier, so like we had the same experience.
But you had a
with classical.
Pretty solid foundation though.
I had already.
That makes a lot of sense because your technique is.
I feel like when I was 10, I just like learned really fast.
Yeah.
And then like kind of like plateaued off. And then kept getting better through like high school and college. But there were like a couple plateaus in my life. The big one was in my, I guess like my 20s and 30s. It was like this. Like I'd go crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's just my personality. Like I go all in on things.
Same.
I go all in on things, and I have blinders, and everything else in my life like falls apart. But I get really good at this one thing. So I did that. Yeah. But like I was pretty solid on it throughout high school, and I intended to start college in classical guitar performance.
Yeah.
And that's just what I was going to do. No doubt in my mind, I was going to do classical guitar performance. I was probably going to go on, get a master's, get a doctoral degree.
So you were all in high school.
Yeah, I was all in. And that was, And I improved a lot. I used to go out into the garage and I would just like practice scales for like 4 hours.
What's got you motivated to play guitar again recently in the last couple of years?
So honestly, it was the VGM stuff. Like, so a couple years ago, it started with Smooth McGroove. So you don't know Smooth McGroove?
No.
Dude.
I feel like I'm not.
He's a cappella.
Okay.
And he's huge. So I saw my buddy, my phone keeps vibrating. Let me turn this off.
You're a popular guy. It's cool. You're in play, bro. You got a lot going on.
I'm going on airplane. I'm going to tell her. There we go. Just go ahead and.
You're like, honey, I'm in an interview right now. Like, come on.
Going on airplane. So, okay, so Smooth McGroove.
Smooth McGroove.
So.
Acapella.
This was probably like, man, I don't remember. I think like 5 years ago, my buddy, like one of my best friends from high school, sent me a video of Smooth McGroove doing the Guile theme.
Okay.
And I watched that and I was like, pff, like I'd never seen anybody do something like that before. I was like, oh my God, he's got like the drums, like the melody, the voices in the middle, the bass, it's all represented. And that's what I thought was so cool about it. It was like the exact composition, but this dude did all the parts identically with his voice.
Yeah.
So that like blew my mind.
Guili's theme.
Guili. That's a great track, man.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd ever touch it though. I think Sam just does it too good. I don't even want to.
I want to talk to you about that.
I don't even want to go there.
Okay, well, speaking of that, finish your Smooth McGroove story.
So then later, I don't know why, but I started recently, like right before I started my channel, like 6 months before I started my channel, I started for some reason getting on YouTube more and stumbling on more Smooth McGroove stuff. And I would literally I got into woodworking too, just because again, I just get obsessed with things. So I'm like woodworking and I'm just like, instead of listening to Spotify or podcasts, I'm just listening to like Smooth McGroove playlists on YouTube.
So not other guitarists, you're listening to Smooth McGroove. That's interesting.
And just video game music. Like I just got really into it. Like I don't know what, it's something happens to my brain when I listen to it. It's like, I don't know if it's like the style of music. It's very like cinematic. I don't know what, or if it's nostalgia. I really don't know what it is, but.
Like VGM in general?
Yeah, VGM specifically,
yeah. Yeah.
I was just really into it. Then I found the Super Guitar Bros Ocarina of Time medley.
That's a long one, about an hour or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Then
sick
I was listening to that on like repeat. Like
Uh-huh.
I'd be like driving, listening to that medley. And I was like, this is so awesome. So then I started listening to Super Guitar Bros, so much like Super Guitar Bros and Smooth McGroove. Then I found Sam's solo channel. So I was like, dude, this is awesome too. So I was just listening to that pretty much exclusively, like that stuff. And then I was at my parents' here like 2 years ago for Christmas before I started my channel, which was in January. And for some reason, we all had the DuckTales theme stuck in our head, like the entire time I was here. And we're like singing it like the whole week.
You and your parents.
And my sister and my brothers.
I was gonna ask how that came to be your first video, because that was a sick.
That was it.
cover.
And so like leading into that, I was like so obsessed with all this VGM stuff, and specifically like Sam and Super Guitar Bros.
Yeah,
and I was like, I really want to do that. So that's pretty much it.
that was not just under 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
That's
like
when you, about
January
a year and a half.
of 2021. No, 2022, because we're in 2023. Yeah, January last year.
So yeah, I mean, I can totally relate to that. So we're guitarists, right? We both are gamers, right? We both love video game music, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, like in the same way that you were listening to a cappella, it never even occurred to you, right? To like, oh, let's check out a guitarist playing video game music. Right. I don't know why it never clicked with me all these years. And then I stumbled on Beyond the Guitar, Sam Griffin. And that's when I was like, this light bulb went off. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen, you know? And to your point about what makes VGM so special, I was thinking about this on the way here. Like, what makes it different than somebody just covering top 40 or somebody covering a song that you know you recognize? I think it pulls at those nostalgic heartstrings that only can resound with you through your childhood or something. It's something like it reminds you of a simpler time. It reminds you of when you were safe and your parents were still there taking care of you. I don't know. There's something very warm and fuzzy about it, but
100%.
I feel you on that. Like,
and it's also like, it's not even just that, but for me, it's like the time when I was a kid, I spent playing video games was just like some of my best memories.
Exactly.
Like it was so like magic and fun, like being a kid, which today it's like, I don't even know how kids perceive like media today, because you've got like Xbox is like just insane. Like the graphics are ridiculous. Everything is like hyper produced and looks incredible. Whereas like we came up with like my first system was a Nintendo NES.
Yeah. Oh, actually no, it's Super Nintendo for me.
Super.
Yeah.
Dude,
I hear you though. And also on top of that, it's like there's so much content out there.
Yeah.
They got screens in their face. Everything is just high. Like, do they feel that same sense of?
You have like magic and awe and wonder.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all relative. Maybe at the end of the day, like what's nostalgic to us, I think
that's true. They just have different things.
Mm-hmm. There's some things I want to unpack though in what you were saying. So you said that you wouldn't want to attempt Guili's theme because Sam already knocked it out of the park. Now, I've struggled with this same sentiment for years now, where it's like, oh, this has already been done 100 times over. This guy already killed it. What am I going to bring to the table, right? So you had to have thought that about Gerudo Valley. I mean, that song is 30 years old. It's been done a million times.
I'll tell you why.
You still did it.
So the thing that excites me the most, like, again, like I also said this before we started rolling, but I'm not doing this like to make money or anything. Like I have a full-time job, which you do too, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, in order to not work my full-time job, I just don't think that's in the cards. Like to make enough money doing content creation. It's like, I just want to do stuff I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, when I saw that Smooth McGroove video doing Guile's theme, and every single voice was in there, but there's like 9 of them.
Yeah, he overdubbed every track.
The thing that just gives me so much enjoyment is like, how much of the actual composition can I get onto a solo guitar at the same time? So that's why, like with Gerudo Valley, I've seen tons of like 2 guitars and stuff like that, or simplified guitar versions.
Yep.
But I was like, I wonder if I could like play the whole melody and do everything at the same time.
Yeah.
So I mean so I feel like I really like to do stuff that I haven't seen done.
Totally.
Because, to my own detriment, like I was talking to you earlier about like, my tendons and stuff are like very angry at me these days because I'm just like,
because you're playing more than you ever have before.
Yeah, because I'm playing so much, and I'm trying not to compromise on, like, also probably maybe to the detriment of the music. Like something that I really like about Sam and you and Beyond the Guitar is that like they're really good arrangements for the guitar, and like they sound great. Like it's something that sounds natural on the guitar, and it's kind of meant for the guitar, whereas I'm literally just trying to play like the exact notes.
But you get so close.
I know, it's like I always struggle with it because
you don't like to compromise.
I'm not doing it, and maybe this is not like, if I was trying to make music for people to listen to or music for other guitarists to play, I would approach it differently. I think a lot of the time I'm just trying to be like, can I play all the notes from the original NES composition?
That's interesting.
And that is what really excites me.
So you're not making it for necessarily anybody but yourself.
Yeah. And there's a lot of times like, so a good example is the horse riding theme from Breath of the Wild.
I was going to ask you about that.
So that's
an underrated.
It's a departure. Like the main melody bits are there.
Yeah.
But like I added a lot of stuff, and I just kind of got creative with it.
Dude,
I do stuff like that too.
Listening to it last night.
Oh, really?
We went through a little catalog, a little Adam Monica, just to, listen to your entire, and yeah, that one.
I love how that one turned out.
But we were watching it. My wife, she was like, get the fuck. How did he do that? How did like? I was like,
alternate tuning.
Yeah, so it's like, I told her I think he did an alternate, but it still doesn't take away from just it was
thanks, man.
Crazy, dude. You have a lot of tunes like that I didn't think were possible. One of them, in fact, so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, like I was such a big fan of the movies, the shows, the action figures.
That was like such a big part of my childhood.
Same. So, and I think that's actually when you made it onto my radar. When like I started watching. I remember
you commented on my TikTok video.
I don't think I had really seen anything you did before that. It showed up on my feed, and I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Really? That was the first thing?
I think it was, because after that, I mean, I started watching everything that you did. I started to pay attention to you after that, and I remember watching it. And there's this part, speaking of you not liking to compromise, where I think I saw you with your left hand thumb, you reach under the fretboard to hit a note, not over like old 12-bar blues guy did.
Like this.
You went like that. And I
playing it like, I used to play double bass in high school, and you do that all the time. You'd use your thumb up high on the fretboard when you didn't have enough fingers.
Was that really necessary, bro?
It was. So there's this like one note that I couldn't get. That was just impossible to get. And I don't know what made me think to do that. I was like, maybe I could hit it with my thumb. Because it's like, it's a bass note. It's just real quick.
Yeah, your bass lines are sick in all of your covers because you don't leave anything out. I mean, so that note, I just remember rolling it back like 5-10 times. I was like, am I really seeing him do that? Is that really what's happening right now? And that's when I was like, okay, I need to start paying attention to this guy because he's got something.
I remember everybody talks about trophies. I remember I already knew about you at this point, and you come in, I was like, oh shit, Josh.
Really?
Yeah, for real. I was like, that's awesome. My Josh trophy was my first Josh trophy.
I didn't even know you knew who I was, honestly, at that point.
I think I was already subscribed to you.
Really?
I'm actually certain I was.
But yeah, I remember, so I went through your whole catalog. I want to make sure we talk about Gerudo Valley, though.
Oh, yeah, I got to tell you the story.
Yeah, because I know it's been done in million times before, like the Gaetano guitar family. He had a good
that one's
2 guitars.
I mean, plenty of people in the comments have let me know that one's better. So
yeah, and they're wrong.
No, I mean, no, that dude, talk about flamenco and like just playing in like that kind of Spanish style. Like I can't touch that. Like that dude's just too natural. Like
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, bro.
We'll see.
But anyway, it's you did
really
something
good.
that nobody has done before, and that's fit everything on one guitar. Did you have any idea that it would blow up the way it did? Because it's got over 3 million views on TikTok, over 1 million views on YouTube, are approaching.
Yeah, it's getting there.
100,000 shares. Did you have any idea?
No
man?
idea. So that was one of those things where I was like, is this even good? This sucks.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I see stuff and I go too deep. I overanalyze. I'm certainly a perfectionist.
Okay.
But yeah, I had no idea. That one took me a really long time to work up too. Like, talk about like, I was getting to the point where like, there's a lot of bar chords in that track.
Yeah.
And I had to like strengthen my technique and actually gain endurance in my forearm muscles just to be able to play it start to finish.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, how long did it take you to arrange and practice?
It took me like 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Like, the way I do it is like, I'll usually have one song in my head and I'll get it to where I have it memorized just to be able to like get myself away from the computer or the sheet music so that just when I'm playing, I can just play it and practice it.
Totally.
Because I hate practicing while reading music because you start to become dependent upon reading the sheet music.
That's so true.
That was one where I was just like, that's all I practiced for like 3 months.
2 to 3 months. I'm glad you decided just to, so you got it to a point where you could play it. You did about, I would say like half of the song, threw it up on TikTok, and you had no idea.
No, that was the whole song. That was last year.
Yeah.
My YouTube short is only 60 seconds because they limit you to 60 seconds.
But the first one that has 3 million views is that first TikTok one, right? That was the very first one. That was the whole song. I thought
that was the whole song. Yeah.
Okay.
It was that was last year. I was at my parents' house for Christmas. They've actually since moved. They're in a new house now, but so that my recording spot's gone, which I'm upset about.
Up in the mountains, right?
Yeah.
It's the Santa Clarita Mountains.
Yep. So they have the Angeles National Forest like backed up to their house. It was really sick, man. I loved that scenery. But
that looks great.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, it's kind of like valleys. It's kind of because they live in the canyons, up there.
Yeah.
And so
then you did the YouTube version, the studio version, just in your home studio.
Yeah, that one also, again, because I'm a perfectionist, took me forever just to because I kept doing it over and over and over and I just wasn't happy with it. So I would just be like, scrap it and do it again.
The audio or the video?
The audio. Yeah.
Okay.
No, once I got the audio, I was like, cool.
So this is interesting. I went through our Discord chat history.
Oh, like DM history?
No, not the DM. It was you were just sharing this with the group.
I
want to get into the YouTube side of this a little bit.
As stuff was.
It was like right before. So the beginning of March of this year, you shared with us that your channel only had around 600 watch hours. Okay, this was before Gerudo Valley, and you were like, "I'm never gonna hit. I'm so far away."
Yeah, literally, it never was. It never was going to.
3 days later, on March 5th, you released Gerudo Valley. Okay, and exactly 24 days after that, you had already surpassed the 4,000 watch hour mark.
Oh, dude, yeah. That video alone, floats my channel. Without that one video, I'd be down here. And just that one video accounts for all of my views.
Yeah. And so, that's very interesting, right? Because for listeners out there who aren't content creators, let's put that into perspective a little bit. 4,000 watch hours in a rolling 365-day period. It's the first major milestone for any creator looking to make it on YouTube. It allows you to join the YouTube Partner Program, and among other things, allows you to start earning ad revenue from your videos. So for many small creators, especially those in the guitar cover niche, our niche, it can seem almost impossible to hit that mark and usually take years.
Especially doing minute-and-a-half videos.
Exactly, because the content format's so small. Yeah. But you did it in about a month, because you already had a little bank, but you were going to hit it in a month no matter what.
Yeah, even without that.
Even
that one
zero.
video would have taken it over.
So what advice would you give to other small guitar YouTube channels out there looking to grow their audience and get monetized today?
Oh, man. I think for me, it really just all comes back to just doing what you're passionate about. I really don't think there's any way around it, because I could do there's some dudes that get a lot of views doing top 40 stuff or classic rock or Like if I wanted to like do an Aerosmith cover, I don't know, that would probably get way more views.
Yeah, like Kent Nishimura.
Just not passionate about that, man. Like I could be calculated. I'm sure I could get way more views. But it's like, then what? And like, what am I doing? Like, if I had no money and no, like, I forgot everything I knew about like the work I do, and I couldn't do anything, and I was working at like a coffee shop or something.
Yeah.
Which I did do for a long time. Sure, maybe I would try that if I was just trying to make money.
Okay.
But I feel like when you're passionate about something, it's going to make it that much more emotionally impactful, and people are going to watch it.
Totally. You can tell as the viewer when somebody loves what they do. Yeah. I mean, that's
just creating good art, like stuff that people want to listen to, that resonates, that has an emotional effect. Because that's what happened to me. Like I would listen to, I don't know what it was, like these guys like Smooth McGroove and Super Guitar Bros. And it wasn't like, oh, this is like, I feel like there's two types of music you could listen to. Oh, this is cool. This is a good jam. I like that guitar tone. Cool drums and bass. Or there's like something you listen to and it just like emotionally like, you know, captivates you and you just have to listen to it. I feel like that's the latter is how I felt listening to that kind of stuff. Like I couldn't help it. But I don't know if that's great advice for people trying to increase their watch hours. I feel like that's a whole, you could spin out into a million things. Like I don't talk during my videos. I should probably, if I talked during my videos, I'd probably get more, you know, more retention, which would probably lead to more views, maybe more people like coming back because they're like seeing personality or something.
Right now you're people are coming back because they're seeing something from you that they probably have not seen before, though. That's why your playing speaks for itself.
Maybe. I do think I do try to do stuff like, that's what like excites me. It's like if I haven't seen anybody play like all three of the voices, and like I did like Sonic Green Hill Zone, I
love that
early on, and there's always two voices. There's always a melody and there's an accompanying some voice in the middle that's doing something the whole time. No, there's more than that. There's another voice in the middle. So there's bass, there's a middle voice, and there's a melody, and then there's another voice above that, but that's just impossible. So I kind of intermix those.
But you get it all though.
But I was like, I couldn't find anything that had all of it. I was like, I wonder if that's possible.
Did you see Sam's cover of Green Hill Zone last week?
That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. His was awesome. And I thought it sounded better for the guitar. His is better.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Like I want to kick back and listen to his. His is awesome.
Yeah, his is, it's just so soft and pleasing to listen to.
So it's like, you know, it's
a give and take.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. But you're also really hard on yourself, and I can honestly say everything that I've covered that he's covered or vice versa, I always like his better.
I mean his stuff is
his cover of Hyrule Castle versus mine. I want to throw mine in the garbage.
His was pretty awesome. Yours was really good too, though. I mean,
it was good until his came out.
No, it's still good. I don't know, man. His stuff though is just
his sound. It's the one thing that he's got it dialed in. There's something he does with his recording. I don't know what he does. I want to talk to him about it.
I realized at one point he's got a little mic in the Ramirez that he uses. He's got like a little mic in there.
Does he really?
He's got to be mixing that in. We could probably just ask him.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Him. Yeah, I've actually got an interview lined up with him on October 7th. Awesome. So I'm going to ask him. Gonna be good. I'm going to say, Adam and I were talking, and we think you should spill the goods. Give it the goods. Like, what makes your shit sound so good, Sam?
I did watch one video where he broke down how he does Midside. I've been only doing Midside.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Midside.
So I don't know a lot about the acoustics. Like I've actually been doing like audio engineering since I was in my early 20s in bands.
Okay.
It's like I know a lot about like gear and microphones and recording and stuff, but Midside has always kind of eluded me. A lot of the physical acoustical stuff has always kind of eluded me. I know a lot more about like the in the box and the gear.
Yeah.
But so basically you have one mic that's like a cardioid or hypercardioid, which basically means it's just capturing stuff mostly in front of it. Anything off axis is going to not sound as direct, right? It's going to sound more ambient.
Yeah.
So you have that pointed directly at the guitar.
Yeah.
Then you have another mic that's in a figure 8 pattern. So it's basically like 2 cardioid mics pointing opposite directions. So you're picking up stuff just along one axis, but rejecting everything on this axis, right?
And where are they both pointing specifically?
So the cardioid mic's pointed at the 12th fret.
Okay.
And then you get the figure 8 capsule as close to the other one as possible. And it's picking up perpendicular, right? To where the top one's pointed. So you're picking up directly the sound coming from the guitar, and then the other one's picking up only the ambience. So it's rejecting the guitar, and it's just picking up the ambience.
So it could be pointed kind of at the floor, almost past the guitar.
It's kind of like along the guitar. So the pickup pattern, if it's a straight line, it's going to be along the guitar, like along how the fretboard is traveling.
Okay, that's interesting.
So basically it's picking up like this.
Dude, I take 2 SE7 mics and I just point one at the 12th fret and one at the bridge.
I mean, yeah.
And but that's as advanced as I have gotten with it.
I mean, your stuff always sounds good. I think there's like a million ways to skin a cat. Like,
yeah. But isn't it always interesting as guitarists? We are always chasing tone, and we're always like, that guy's tone. I want that tone. And it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about at a certain point, but you know what you were looking for.
You know what's funny about tone, and it happens also in like rock band stuff, like, recording bands and stuff. Yeah. It's just what they happen to have lying around at the time when they hit record.
Right.
It's like, I think like the Strokes, what was their first album? Anyways, the Strokes, like a lot of that album was recorded, like he's like, Julian Casablancas is like singing through like a little PV guitar amp, and they just like mic the guitar amp.
Oh, it works, like, so they sound good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like Nirvana. Nirvana's gear, like, were they playing like $2,000 guitars? Like, it doesn't matter at all. That's what I think these days. Like, it does not matter. The Gerudo Valley video, I have like a $5,000 Hill Masters Series guitar that I've had since 2002. And then I've got like a $700 Cordoba C7. And that's the one I filmed most of my stuff on, actually.
I was going to ask that you lugged that $4,000 guitar up the hill.
No.
You just took a C7?
I bought that C7 for that trip, actually, because
okay.
I was.
I love my C7.
It was the first time. I usually come to California for the holidays.
Okay.
So it was the first time I had come to California for the holidays since I started my channel and got like obsessed with playing guitar again. So I was like, I can't go and not have a guitar with me.
Yeah.
So I went to Maple Street Guitars.
Oh, okay.
And I bought that C7 just to have like a beater. It's $700, but
yeah,
it's a beater compared to
your other guy.
Compared to my other one.
Yeah. But that's on Maple Street Guitars. That was the one in Atlanta you were telling me about.
Maple Street Guitars. Yeah.
Shout out to Maple Street Guitars.
Yeah, Maple Street Guitars is awesome.
Sponsor this channel.
But like, it doesn't matter, man. And like, especially when we could start getting into like the differences on different platforms, YouTube versus TikTok, short form versus long form.
I wanted to ask you about that, actually, because following the success of Gerudo Valley, you released what I would say are equally nostalgic and recognizable and iconic songs, like the athletic theme from Super Mario World, which was insane, by the way. I don't even know. I don't think anybody has covered that.
I don't think. I know that the Guitar Bros do it.
They do it in 2 guitars.
You know why I did that one?
Same.
CR guitar.
Oh, because he covered it with 17 guitars.
I saw his version. I was like, this is awesome. So I did it.
That's awesome. Let's just take what he did with 17 guitars and let's put it down to 1.
Well, I'm not getting everything in there, but I'm really happy with how that arrangement turned out. It actually works really well on the guitar. The problem with that one, the right hand is like, do you ever play something where like your brain just like doesn't want to give in, and like you can't seem to get the muscle memory. Like you keep hitting the wrong string or something. Constantly. So like I had to work really hard on my right hand muscle memory to get, because the right hand is so hard on that one.
I mean, it's clean. It is clean. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke, dude.
Appreciate it.
But then after that, you released the Wind Waker Dragon Roost Island.
I did that one.
Heavy flamenco status too.
So that one's funny because if you listen to that track, it's a bunch of strummy guitars.
Yep.
It's like meant for guitar.
It's meant for that. Yeah.
Except the lead is like what, like a flute or like a recorder or something.
Yeah. But your version gets the flamenco elements, the strumming elements. You got the melody. You got the percussion in there. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of slapping.
My
Definitely abused the slap.
that's cool though. I remember you saying too, you're like, I gotta work on the slap, and I was like, I'm pretty sure you got the slap down.
When did I say that?
It was like, I think it was right before Gerudo, and you were,
Oh, probably because I was working on the slap and it was hard.
which I find interesting because like you're doing things that are way harder than the slap.
Well,
The slap is the slap.
you know what I've been trying to do recently is bass drum, like kick drum.
Okay.
So slap is easy. It sounds like a snare. Hit
And
the
you're
strings.
hitting it with your palm, or are you just trying to?
Bass, if you hit the body of the guitar with your palm, it's
Yeah.
like a nice bass sound.
And you're kind of like doing an upstroke.
Yep. And so you can hit the strings and get the bass at the same time.
It's tough to do.
That's really hard. So I've been working on that, and it also hurts. I don't want to get like. I was also watching that Marcin interview.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got a ganglion cyst right here from all the slapping.
Really?
Yeah, like I mean, so I don't know. I'm debating if I want to go that path because I don't want to hurt my body anymore.
Well, so
Got too many injuries, man.
the question I have about those two is like, they're just as recognizable, right? And you released them in the last couple months. Now, neither one has had close to the same success on YouTube. On TikTok, they're doing great. But
Still not close to the same
right. But does that
You know,
does that frustrate you as
factor
a
of like
creator
30.
when you see something like that blow up on TikTok, but kind of not get as much traction? Or do you just kind of take it in stride and you just?
I'd be lying if I said the whole process is not a little bit frustrating at times. And it's like I just can't help with my human emotions not to be like disappointed if something doesn't do well. And I know it's like not even like who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like
I care.
I think I mean I do care. But if I really try to take a step back and I try to like look at my life, like is this really the thing that should be mattering?
Well, okay. I think you and I are in similar
Views.
fields in terms of our career.
right?
And I think we naturally we want to solve a problem. Or if there is a problem, we want to figure out the why.
Absolutely. We want to optimize. We want to like do it as well as like if you're going to do something like
Yeah. And so
why would you half-ass it?
exactly. And so over the years, I've started to it's become a nagging thing in terms of like, well, I'll release Hateno Village, right? Does great, or great for my channel, and then I'll a few weeks later release Lurelin Village. Same thing, same almost the same exact title, almost the same exact thumbnail, and it just falls short. And I'm like, well,
That is frustrating.
what did I like? I want to figure out like what happened there, and maybe there is no answer, but the technical side of my brain is like, what can we do to fix that?
So you have an idea. Like I'd also be lying if I didn't think that Gerudo Valley would do well or that Athletic Theme would do well. And that was partially an impetus to do those songs. I was like, these would probably do really well. Like, what are we going to do? There's thousands and thousands of songs to choose from. So it's like the cross section of stuff that I like that I think would do well.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I do those songs, right? But I mean, so we know a little bit which songs are going to do well. But at the end of the day, like, you kind of don't. Like I worked so hard on my Megalovania cover on TikTok. Maybe I'm a little late for that meme. Like I got on the Undertale train like pretty late. Although Undertale,
I was going to ask you about your Undertale cover. Could you do a lot of them?
Dude,
I thought you were like a huge fan of that game.
Oh no, I am.
Okay.
The music like changed my life. I mean, that's being a little hyperbolic, but like love the music so much. My favorite video game music.
I can tell you love it because
that
you've done
OST.
a lot of Undertale.
It's so good.
Is your goal with that to eventually do an Undertale album?
I would really like to. Yeah, absolutely. I love those tracks. But the Megalovania cover, man, I thought that was going to do a lot better. And of course, I'm not complaining. Like it's gotten a ton of views.
I start to overthink it in the same way. Like the same people that watched your Gerudo Valley cover would love the Dragon Roost cover. They would love the Athletic theme because they're from the same era. You know what I mean?
I did Dragon Roost because I got so many people asking me to do it in the comments. Of the
I
Gerudo
saw
Valley.
that. I was going to ask you about that. It's like, oh, well, I'm actually, this is what they're asking for. And then YouTube, it just kind of lays there, and it's like, wow.
So it didn't go viral or anything. It didn't get picked up by the algorithm. It's not exponential, but it's linearly doing its linear growth. And that one's actually doing really well. It's just like a straight, 45-degree angle line in the analytics. So I'm actually...
And it's still early too.
Yeah. You know, the Gerudo Valley video took about 25 days before it went like this.
That's interesting.
It performed really well, but then it kind of plateaued and then it just went whoosh.
We're still in that window for those other tunes.
Yeah.
They actually have a respectable amount of views. Really, the question was just, it's not even a question at that point. It's like, if I were you, I'm mad for you. I'm mad for you because I'm like, dude, this guy knocked this song out of the park. What else do you want, algorithm?
Yeah, I was like, oh, Dragon Rouge Island, like, will do really well. I mean, it did do really well. I'm super happy with how well it's done. But the funny thing is, I do a 10-second loop from Super Mario 3, and that takes off.
I loved that. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, I remember that. And why didn't I think of that?
I think that's maybe, you know what it is also with that one? You don't make money on TikTok doing the creativity beta program unless your videos are a minute or more. I think, this is just a theory, I don't really know, but I think people swipe away in like 3 seconds on TikTok videos. They just do. Even Gerudo Valley, it's still like the retention at like 5 seconds is like 40%.
On the TikTok version.
Crazy, yeah. The retention is so hard. So my theory is that if you have a minute video and they swipe away after 5 seconds, what's that, 5 out of 60 retention percentage, right? Whereas if you have a 10-second loop and they swipe away after 5 seconds, that's 50% retention. And then if you have a 10-second loop and it starts over because they want to hear it again, that's over 100% retention. Yeah. So I think shorter videos that loop I think perform better. So I'm playing around with it.
Is there a lot of transparency with TikTok analytics? I mean, do they give you that much insight like YouTube does? They do? Okay.
They give you all the analytics, yeah.
I haven't actually looked.
It's not as real time as YouTube. Okay. I would really like to see as I release something, like the first hour, see what it's doing. But you have to wait a couple days for the retention data at least. But there is a reason to go back. There's a reason that Gerudo Valley performed better than other videos, I think. I don't think I told you the story. So basically, I posted that video, last Christmas. Just like, oh, I wonder if this will do well. Like, honestly, I didn't even think it was that great. I was like, oh, God, I could have played this so much better, blah, 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 blah.
The first one in the hills.
The original one, on TikTok.
Okay.
So it actually picked up and started doing really well. It kind of got like a little viral bump just on its own, which was really cool. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is crazy. Like, every time you open the TikTok app, it's like, insane, like everything, comments, likes.
It must have been hard to keep up
mentions, but it's like crazy. And then you close the app, you clear that all out, you close it, open it 5 seconds later, and it's back to like in the 50s. It's like, whoa, it's kind of cool.
Did you try to respond to it?
Oh God, no, I can't do that. I don't like to be disingenuous. Like, I will respond if stuff is like really. I don't like to respond just to respond.
Okay.
Maybe in the beginning to like the first. Sam does this. Like, Sam will respond to like the first couple comments, then he's like, I'm done.
I don't know if Sam knows how to respond.
But so that one, I left. I flew back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then this random dude with one video on his channel. Literally, you know how duets are a thing in TikTok.
Yeah,
you duet somebody, and then you see the original person. It tags them. You can get to them, and it shows the original music in the right-hand corner. You can click on it and see where the music of the video came from.
Yeah.
This dude downloaded my video, and then he downloaded the duet video. It was Herman Lee. It was the Eluzai on TikTok. He's like a chill hop, like lo-fi hip hop dude. He plays like a lot of like Super Mario stuff on like Nord piano kind of sounding. So this dude, he did this like duet where he goes, calling all musicians and artists, duetless, and let's jam. And then he just does this and doesn't play. And he stares at the camera, slowly zooming in for like 60 seconds.
That's all he does.
So he released that, and then the like automaton, or what's that instrument?
Yeah,
the little happy face thing.
That thing sounds funny.
There's a dude, I don't remember his name, on TikTok that does like those kind of automaton stuff. And so there's a duet of him and Herman Lee doing the duet this and let's jam, and they go and they stop and it zooms in on them.
So they both do it.
So it's all three of them: Herman Lee, this dude, the automaton dude, and the Eluzai.
And these are big TikTokers.
Yeah. And so that's a separate video. Dude downloads both videos outside of the app, and he uses like CapCut or something, and he puts them together.
And he does it too.
Yeah. Duet this and let's jam, and then they stop and I start playing. And it's the whole time, it's the whole song, and they're just doing this. But it's not real. They didn't do that to me. People thought that they did that to me, I think. So then he posted on his channel, and that went viral. And people started doing that duet. So now people are coming out of the woodwork and like getting their like instrument, like their ocarina, duet this and let's jam. And they go for 60 seconds. And that like trend went crazy.
When you say he didn't do it to you, what do you mean? Like, because I'm not familiar with exactly how TikTok works on the duet.
So Herman, if I want to duet you, I go to your video and I hit duet.
Right.
And then it plays back, right? And I play along to it. And then I post it to my channel. Okay. So it's now your video and my video stitched together. But people see I duetted, Josh Garofalo.
Yeah.
And they could click on your link. And also, if I duetted your video, in the lower right-hand corner, there's like a little record spinning. Yeah. If you click on that, it's your sound. So this was his sound, and he didn't @ me or anything. So all the comments were like, how do I find the original video?
Wow.
So I got so many, God, I keep hitting this microphone. I got so many people who are like, oh, I finally found, I had to go through like 13 levels of duets to find this video.
Well, that's interesting.
Because I reached out to the guy and I was like, hey man, could you just like shoot me like an @ or something? Like, could you just give me like, so people can find my video since this is like doing really well?
But the other cats, the automaton cat and
they had no idea. They didn't do it. This random dude downloaded their video, which you're not, I think, technically supposed to repost stuff in that way. But,
yeah, everybody does.
But I mean, it was great for me. Like, I'm not complaining at all.
That's interesting.
But I hit the dude up. I was like, hey, throw me an @ So he added me. So a bunch of people found me. And I think people looked for the original video. So there's I think at least 2,000 of these duets.
Okay.
And they go deep. And there were a lot of like really big TikTokers that jumped on the bandwagon and they just stare the whole time, which was bizarre.
You started a movement, man.
I mean, I didn't start it. This other random dude did. I just posted my video.
But you inspired it, though.
I guess so.
I mean, that's huge.
When I first saw it, it came up in my feed, and I was like, and it made me like laugh out loud, like the timing of it. Yeah. It was funny. Like it was.
That's interesting. I did not know. You never shared that story on our Discord.
No, I don't think I did. No.
But that probably played into its popularity.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because it went 3x YouTube.
Oh, dude.
But I remember looking at it. I probably checked in on it every few days, and it was, it was like growing. And then I was like, oh, it hit the 1 million mark, and it hit the 2 million mark, and it just kept going.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But that trend was like, I had like friends and family like texting me like, hey, I saw you in this like weird video.
What do your friends and family say when they see you on TikTok or when they see you?
They're just like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
I also have a lot of colleagues that'll be like, saw you on TikTok.
Oh, so you do you tell them about your
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting.
I've got this one dude I work with that I guess gets on TikTok a lot. He's like, and I'm like all up in his feed. I think because iOS contacts. I think it knows to recommend.
Yeah, it does do that. It does do that. That's funny. I don't tell. I mean, I keep this whole side of my life secret.
Yeah, it's like
from everybody.
Yep.
I mean, my friends know about it. None of my coworkers or anything on the professional side.
I don't tell people. They have to find it. I don't go, by the way, check out my channel.
No, I don't want them to know because I'm afraid they're gonna be like, what is this guy doing with his free time? What is he working here for?
My boss does. She goes like, can't you like play some like something else other than like video games?
Can you play some Jefferson Starship or something?
I probably should. Again, back to that part of the conversation. Like, I don't know. I just enjoy the video game music so much.
I thought that.
I just love it so much.
That duet you did of Making My Dreams Come True.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
So that was awesome. I love that. And I love like Hall & Oates. Like,
that was like
that
so creative. I was like, wow, this guy just found this. What was it? A guy hammering?
Yeah.
It was just the beat.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
I actually learned that for that duet. I was like, what does that sound like to me? Dude. I was like, oh, Hall & Oates. So I listened to the song and I came up with that arrangement just to make that one video.
Your arrangement, when you arrange something, so do you do everything by ear?
So no, mostly I do not do it by ear. So a couple things I did, Gerudo Valley, Megalovania, Dragon Roost Island. I did by ear, no pen and paper, as it were, or like computer. Yeah. Usually I'm using a computer to put the notes in. No, that was just straight up listening to it, figuring it out, listening to it, figuring it out. Okay. And then tabbing them out after the fact, which is really annoying. because I'm like, what did I do here? And I have to like watch the video.
That's interesting.
But
so you have a good ear.
Most of the time, I literally get Logic Pro up and I use the piano roll, and I download the track from YouTube, like the original composition. I throw it in, and I use like flex time to set the project tempo to the region tempo so that it's all lined up. And then I use a software instrument track, and I use the piano roll, and I literally listen to it. Because the cool thing about that is you can change the tempo and the track will actually stretch. I think you can do the same thing in Guitar Pro. I think that's what Sam does.
With the newer version, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually slow it down. Yeah. So literally, I will just listen to it, and I will literally get every single voice exactly as it is on the original track. That's the starting point, which you can't play on guitar. And then I will look at it in a treble staff and be like, can I play this? And most of the time it's no. So I might transpose it up or down, like to get to, to be able to access some open bass notes.
Yeah, for sure.
Or some open strings. And then I'll kind of assess if I need an alternate tuning. And then I'll start removing notes where it's just physically impossible to play. So, I mean, it's not like I'm not doing arranging. I'm literally, I have to arrange it so it's possible to play on the guitar. And sometimes I'll make some concessions or change some stuff because it sounds better on the guitar. But for the most part, I'm just trying to capture whatever the exact notes are and try to play it on the guitar.
I feel like you're being a little modest there. There's a lot of arranging to make it work.
You have to, yeah. Like you can't. Most of the stuff, and I don't know if it's like the chips that they used in these systems, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Genesis, where they had limitations, or something. But it's all very similar. The space between instruments and the type of stuff that they did. I just keep running into the same things over and over. Most of it's impossible to play on the guitar.
I know, and you still manage to do it.
So you have to switch it around.
I'm a slave to sheet music because I'm so afraid to rely on my ear. So a big barrier for me most of the time is I just need some piano sheet music, and then I basically read it, and I'll start playing it, and I'll start making it work for a guitar.
Yeah.
And that's it really for me. Very few of my tunes are from ear,
Honestly, I don't know why I don't do that. Like it seems like
your way seems more efficient though.
Major time saving. No, well the cool thing about doing it the way that I do it that I actually really like is how like content creation is like an assembly line where that sounds bad, but that's not what I mean. It's like there's different stages. You have to like figure the thing out. Then you move into the stage where you practice it and perfect it. Then you move into the stage where you record the audio. Then you go to the stage where you record the video. Then you go to the stage where you edit it together and release it and worry about the analytics and like your keywords, blah, 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 thumbnail. So like it's a bunch of different stages that you're doing. The thing I like about the way I do it is I can be like on a plane, or like I can be like chilling in my living room with my laptop, and I could be tabbing out a song without my guitar in my hands.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the process. And I could just do that whenever. And it feels kind of nice to not be like tied to my guitar while I do that.
That's actually interesting. You can tab without the guitar in your hand.
So literally, like I said, I'm just getting the exact notes onto the staff that are in the composition.
Oh, okay. So you'll tab stuff that's not playable.
Yes, I tab stuff that's not playable.
Oh, okay.
And I know, like I can look at I read sheet music. I can look at the notation and be like, I can't play that. Like if I've got stuff that's above the 12th fret, but then I'm also having to play a G on the bass, on the E string, like I know I can't play that. So I can do actually some of it without the guitar in my hands. So even though your method probably takes longer in the beginning, once you do it, you're done. Whereas I still have more stuff I have to do.
But your method doesn't require sheet music necessarily because you're making your own sheet music essentially when you're loading it.
I just do it all. I literally listen and I put the notes in to what I hear. That's literally do everything.
So you can do it on the road
just from scratch.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So kind of going back to your channel, where do you see yourself, your channel, your brand in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's a great question, man. I don't think there's going to be a lot of longevity in doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I can't see myself just doing this forever. Although I do love doing it, but I'd probably release a couple videos a year if I continued doing exactly what I was doing.
And why is that? Because of how production intensive it is, or?
Well, that's part of it. It is like so much effort. And again, like I do it because I've always done stuff like this in my life. Like I used to be in bands when I was in my 20s, and I would just figure out how to do everything. It was so exciting. Like I did like the website, and I'd do our flyers, and we'd record ourselves in the basement. And like, it was just so exciting creating something and putting it out there.
Yeah.
Like I love that. I always need some kind of project. And
Yeah.
this is like kind of my longest standing project in my life. I usually drop them after like 6 months.
So we're near the end of this cycle?
No, dude, no end in sight. Well, what I want to start doing, I'll probably change my tune once I try to do it and realize it's really hard, is I'd really like to talk about in videos the stuff that we're talking about, because that's what I really am doing. Like I want to talk about the song, and I've had these ideas of doing this for a while now. Like what if I had a video where I talk about the song, talk about my impressions of the song, talk about what I think is cool about it, and like really interesting parts of the composition. Like listen how they do this here, and then they modulate to a different key for some reason, and this note's flatted, but it's not in the key. Why'd they do that? That stuff's really interesting to me. But then also talk about, here's exactly what's recorded. Here's what's exactly recorded if it were played on guitar. Let's see how close we can get it, and talk about the adjustments that I would make. And then at the end of the video, it's like a one take, no editing of just playing the track.
Okay, yeah, that would be cool. So
like,
you're telling a story. You're telling a story first and foremost. So you're getting in front of the camera. You're talking about
again,
it, which is tough
I'm
in its
talking
own
a big
right.
game right now, but I'm going to sit down and try to do it. And I swear to God, I'm going to look at the camera and be like,
That's so
say
fun,
like
man.
one word 1,000,000 times and start over.
I will say that is one of the toughest things. It seems so easy, but as soon as you make a talking head video and all you're staring at is the camera,
So hard. See, this is awesome because like I'm talking to you. Like
Yeah.
the cameras are just.
because when you were just
This is
explaining that
easy.
right now, that's like, oh, I was thinking, wow, he'll have no problem with that. That sounded great.
You think.
But then when you have to, because then the perfectionist inside just be like, I don't like the way I said
Yeah.
the word for. I'm going to say that again.
And then you also can't rehearse it. But then I've also got this thing where I start doing something and my brain goes blank.
Yeah.
Like my fight or flight kicks in, and then I forget everything. like I'm not good at public speaking.
Okay. It's interesting to hear you say that your current content format isn't necessarily long term, because I have been feeling the same way, which is why we're sitting here right now.
I mean, change is good, man. Like
You want to try something new. Yeah, because you're right. The whole music cover process is like so production intensive, and your end result being a 2 to 3 minute video.
oh my God.
That,
Dude,
it's,
yours are 2 to 3 minute videos. Mine are like 1:15.
you know what? That's interesting you say that. We were watching your videos last night, and Jennifer was like, he needs to loop his stuff. He needs to play it one more time around.
And
I was like, yeah, that's maybe true. Because yours is a one and done. You're out.
Yeah, I keep it concise. Yeah. I also, if I could say one thing to that, to that effect, I feel like the way that I play guitar, like, okay, so the way that your arrangements come out, and like Sam, I feel like there's like a lot of maturity where like you guys like can take things slow, and like it's very deliberate. And I feel like there's like a lot of wisdom there. I don't know if that comes across. Whereas the stuff that I do, I always feel like I'm always like inside my brain, like frenetic, and I play everything way too fast. And like, I feel like it's hard for me to like kick back and like, I don't know. That's just how I feel.
That's so interesting, man. I would have never.
I mean, maybe that's just because that's what's going on inside my head all the time.
I don't think anybody that watches your videos thinks that at all. Like, it's usually just you're just blown away from right from the get go, and I mean, that's like, you definitely don't get a frantic feel from your videos.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
My guitar teacher was always telling me, chill out, like play a little slower. So I would always just go like as fast as my fingers could go. Like I just never would like, it's still actually hard to this day. When I did my Super Mario 2 cover, I was going to record it at like 170 BPM.
Okay.
The original music from the game is like 200, like 203. And I ended up doing it 192 just because it was easier. Because it's easier for me to max out than it is for me to pull back a little bit.
I gotcha.
It was harder at 175.
I love the way your Mario 2 cover came out, though, because I mean, it was so true to the original tempo, the original feel, and it was as fast as Sam's. I remember
was trying
somebody
to play
giving
it faster.
somebody
It's just
gave
really
you
hard.
crap for that. Was like,
Somebody
did you just
did
copy
recently.
Sam? And I was like, wait, didn't yours? Wait, what do you? It wasn't even the same.
Mine's in a different key, and the notes are different.
Yeah.
So no,
But people are such haters.
no.
Dude.
I mean, the guy was actually really nice when I responded. So I appreciate that. It's like you don't know. It's just like a voice on the internet. Like you don't know what the tone is or where they're coming from.
That's true, but
it's really easy to say like
it's hater.
Yeah. I did get another guy recently that let me know that Sam's Mario 2 was better and in the original key, which I really wanted to respond and be like, dude, I honestly don't disagree with you, but I just didn't want to.
It's like a thank you. Thank you for that. Everybody's a critic, man.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you follow any other guitarists on YouTube or TikTok and gain inspiration from what they do? Or are you mostly head down focusing on what you do most of the time?
I mean, honestly, if you look at my YouTube feed, we're logged in on our Apple TV under my account.
Yeah. Same
And
here.
my girlfriend's doing Pilates videos, using my account, which you'll get like a Cassie Ho video there, intermingled between just straight up nothing but guitar and video game covers. I mean, I don't really watch a ton of YouTube, honestly.
Okay.
I watch more there's a dude that does Magic the Gathering content. Watch a lot of that.
There's this cat on TikTok that does Magic the Gathering
Really?
content, but it's just him and his buddies raging. I cannot turn away.
Really?
I love these guys. They're so mean to each other.
You gotta shoot me a link.
It's calzones and cardboard.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. And it's just hate. I mean, you can tell though, and what I find so redeeming about it is they're just good friends. At the end of the day, they're going to fling a lot of shit each other's way, but they're best friends at the end of the day. And that's what I like.
They're actually raging?
They're getting in each other.
That's funny.
I couldn't hang out with them. I'd be like,
Dude,
my feelings would be hurt after a while. But
that game, I gotta watch my heart rate when I play Magic. Sometimes I gotta be like, okay, I just gotta breathe slowly. It's kind of an infuriating game at times, but I just love it.
Do you still play?
Oh, dude, yeah.
You play Commander?
I don't play Commander. I've got a group of friends that will do. I really only play limited, sealed or draft.
Okay.
We will play Commander every once in a while just because it's so easy to whip out a deck and start playing. But we'll do once a quarter. We'll get a draft pod going in my house with 8 friends. But I play a lot of Arena.
Okay. It's been a long time since I've sat down and played Magic, but it's brought out the worst. I've seen it just even in great friends.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we were playing one time and I had a Chandra Nalar and I maxed it out and I destroyed.
Did the ultimate?
Did ultimate, my buddy. Left my house without shoes on.
No way.
Walked out. He was just so infuriated.
Yeah.
And we had to go find him. And he just.
What were you supposed to do? You had the loyalty counters.
That's what I said. I was like, Mark, you're gonna hate me. It's Mark, my buddy Mark said, you're gonna hate me right now, but I got full stack. And he just scooped. He scooped hard and he just left. And
I feel that, and I wish I didn't. I wish I could play Magic and be more chill. I get way too competitive.
I can't imagine you mad.
Oh, I get. Yeah, I can get. It just doesn't manifest on the outside. It's just in here.
In terms of gaming, are you playing anything these days, console or PC wise, or is it just Magic?
I played a lot. Yeah, mostly Arena is most of what I play.
Okay.
I played a lot of games when I had a lot more time on my hands when I was a kid and in high school. I was never so much of a gamer though, where it was a constant part of my life.
Mm.
And throughout my life, I've gone really deep on fewer games, whereas I feel a lot of hardcore gamers play a lot of different games.
Yeah,
and there's always new games that are coming out. Where it's almost I feel kind of the same way about music, where I don't really I go really deep into very few bands, and I don't really have an appetite to just listen to some random band or go searching for new bands. It's very hard for me.
That's interesting.
But
I feel the same way though. It's always when you take that chance to listen to someone new. It's finding it's either do I go to this restaurant that I really love or do I go find something new?
Yeah, and take a chance.
There's difference between exploring and exploitation. Those two things juxtapose.
Juxtapozoles.
Juxtapozola. You ever eaten that?
Yeah, that's great.
You ever
but yeah, I'm trying to think what the last game I played. I think the last game I played was, I've been playing through Ocarina of Time, but then the freaking N64
Oh,
video cable broke. So I
are you emulating? Are you? I mean,
No,
are you playing it on the Switch? Or are you playing the old
N64. My girlfriend's N64.
You still have an N64?
Yeah, it's hers.
Wow, dude.
So I was playing
that's
it.
a museum piece.
Dude, yeah, it's great, man. It looks terrible on like my 65-inch like 4K television, but
it's actually useful because when you're playing an N64 game on the Switch, it doesn't translate very well because of the C buttons that they used to have. So it just doesn't play well on the, on the Switch.
I might get some heat for this. I never liked the N64 controller.
Okay.
I never liked that you had to use the stick with your left hand, but the way that your hand is angled, up is not up. It's like kind of diagonal. I don't know.
You know, it was a different time.
They were like trying something out of left field to sell consoles or something.
Something. Yeah, I don't think you ever used the D-pad. It was always brand new, but the joystick was worn out.
Yeah.
You know, interesting. If you ever played GoldenEye, right?
Oh, yeah.
For instance, you know, it was like second nature when we were younger playing it on the N64. If you go back to play that right now, it's like, what? Like, this is how you strafe? Like, was I a different person?
I think first-person shooters evolved a lot after that. Because what was it? I don't remember. Did you have the option to invert the axis?
You did.
You did? Okay.
You did, but I think you strafed with the C buttons or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe that was one, that was like the D, I don't remember. There was like many different control schemes back then. Like in GoldenEye, you could switch between them.
Right.
Whatever it was or wasn't, like playing it today, it's like you can't even move.
Yeah.
It's like, it's because they make them different, like you say.
Yeah, they evolved since then. Like I played a lot of Time Splitters on PS2. If you remember that game. Is that what? Yeah, Time Splitters. I played a lot of that. First person shooter. And the dual shock with the two sticks was the way to go for first person shooters. Same thing as like Halo, where you got the Xbox controller with two sticks. You know.
Bro, I was a huge Halo player.
I played so much Halo 2.
Same.
That's what I'm talking about. I would go deep. I played so much. All I did for I think like months was just trying to figure out how to super jump on different different maps.
See, you grew up. That's iconic, bro. Because let me tell you something: the Xbox Live community on Halo 2 was the most toxic, unforgiving, rude, obnoxious. And if you grew up then, you just had thick skin.
So I never played online with like the headset. I would play with. We would get.
Oh, you missed out, dude.
We would get our friends. We would bring our consoles.
Like a LAN party.
Yeah, and
that's brilliant. That's nice.
Ethernet them up, to a Switch or whatever.
Everybody's nice to each other
with multiple TVs. Yeah, no, we played a lot of Halo.
You fire up Xbox Live, and you find out people who people really are.
Yeah.
It's rough going, dude.
It's the same dilemma as when you're like driving in a car on the freeway. It's like, that's not a person. That's just a car. So it's like people behave completely differently when there's no like social consequences.
I don't know what it is when you get behind the wheel of a car. You disconnect from. There's no human in that car.
Yeah.
That's just somebody in my way.
Dude, people are just. Yeah, the worst of people comes out like online and in cars. People are terrible. I think people are generally good, but
for the most part,
they can get selfish. I think when except not thinking about other people. Like
they're generally good, but then if you go scroll through TikTok, you could see the dregs of society.
Oh my god,
you see all colors, bro. And I'm you think you've seen it all, and then the next day,
I was so anti TikTok for so long. Oh yeah. I never downloaded it. The only reason I downloaded it was because I was doing the YouTube thing, and I was like, okay, I got an Instagram. Maybe I could drive some traffic over to my YouTube if I just post the same stuff to TikTok.
That's so interesting. You're so big on TikTok, but you were anti-TikTok.
I was so anti-TikTok. I was just very against it. Just, I don't know, in general, I just thought it was stupid. Because it started out as like just like all the dancing and stuff, right?
Yes.
That's what I remember. It's just like people go on there and dance, and they do the same dance. What?
But once you get in there, though,
the algorithm's actually pretty good.
Man. Yeah.
And so I get sucked in because I'll go on to post a video, or I'll go on to like see if I have any, like see how a video's doing. And of course they bring you right. I used to hate when you'd open the app and your volume is on, they'd bring you right into the homepage and it would be blaring and a video would be playing. And I'd be like, God, I wish you could come into like somewhere where you can decide to go to the homepage.
They don't even let you.
They do that on purpose.
You're in.
You're already swiping.
The problem I've had with TikTok as a creator and why haven't embraced it the way you have is because when I first got on there, I took all my videos and I was like, oh, I have tons of back content I can post on there.
Just throw it out there.
Threw it on there. For whatever reason, the audio sounded like it was in a coffee can or a tin can. Like
the audio sucks.
I couldn't figure it out. Like so,
but I also don't think that matters at all for TikTok. The quality.
Well, it mattered to me,
right?
And they weren't getting any views or anything like that. And I realized that the best way to do it is the way you do it. You post organically. You post for TikTok.
I think that's the way. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do.
Just with your phone.
I don't know what it is.
No editing. But that's the way to do it, man. And I think
that's what people are expecting.
So anyway, like that's why I haven't embraced it the way you have. And I would like to do what you do more and just share those candid videos of me, even if it's just a short excerpt of practicing. But I like what you do because you just set the phone up, you record yourself playing
through the phone,
and that's it.
Yeah. And I've experimented with doing like my real microphone setups and like editing the audio, like adding compression or whatever. But I find that I love the simplicity. It's kind of nice because I'm like, I can just one and done, like record a video, and it can even be 10 seconds. And I can just record something that I haven't finished yet, which is why when I started like doing TikTok, I was like, everything was like, oh, I'm working on XYZ. And I would just record like part of it because that's all I had learned yet. So it's kind of nice to be able to post something.
Yeah.
Because like I am not an 80%er. Like I do not abide by the 80% rule. I probably should. Like I get stuff to, like everything past 80% is where you spend all your time. And I try to perfect things and it takes forever. So it's kind of nice just to be able to like throw something out there that's not really super thought out and was more or less easy to do, but then still get stuff out. Like that feels good.
I mean, the stuff you're posting, I mean, you're playing it all the way through with minimal to no perceivable mistakes. So I feel like what you're posting is over 80%.
Well,
in that regard.
Yeah, it depends. Like the last couple of videos I've done have been like much easier comparatively.
Yeah.
And much shorter.
Yeah.
But like the Dragon Roost Island video, that was actually like sometimes I get a little stressed out because I'm such a perfectionist. But like, that one was like, how it is, like doing takes, take after take after take.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's all smoke and mirrors.
It's just takes. Like I just took, I played it until I played it. I chose the best performance out of like the 10 or 20 I did. Like
I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. The finished product is nowhere near representative of like what you.
But I don't think that's a problem. That's what people have been doing since like I think the beginning of time.
Yeah, totally.
Recording. They were splicing tape together. They were.
I still feel dirty sometimes, though.
I know. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't know what to think about it. I think if you're thinking about it, that's probably a good thing because I think some people overdo it.
Oh, yeah.
I try to keep it like, okay, so the first thing is on TikTok, like I try to keep that completely point and shoot, right? Because part of me is because like I want to put out a good YouTube video that has good audio that is going to be like memorialized in time. I'm going to put it on Spotify, right? Mm-hmm. And back in my band days, I'd do a solo 30 times and we'd take our favorite parts of it. And that would be the solo. And it would sound like I played it once, but really like that stuff's rampant when you're recording like rock music, correcting snares, like layering stuff. Like that's just part of like music production. Mm-hmm. And also like classical artists playing classical guitar are doing the same thing. Like the big dogs, the people who are doing like classical guitar albums, they're doing the same thing. They're playing the song through like a million times, maybe not a million, but they're playing it through a bunch and they're finding the parts of the song that represent what they're trying to represent the best and have the most emotional impact. Maybe there's like one note that they just did like this really nice vibrato and they like that the best. They'll splice it in. Like I'm certain of that, right? So I know that's, you're doing something, you're not doing a performance, you're creating a recording that's going to live, as is, right? So if you have a fret buzz, you could just swap it out.
I think the difference, though, is that those classical guitarists they can play that same song in a live repertoire about 90%.
Absolutely, 90% of the way.
I couldn't play one song right now.
Oh, dude, I forget stuff. So I'm like a bodybuilder. Definitely not like a bodybuilder, but I mean in the way that they train for like a meet. So like off season, they're like 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
And then they get into peak peak physical condition for like 24 hours. They do it and then they like gain 10 pounds like immediately. So I feel like I do that whenever I record audio. Like I practice so hard, and I can play it like 90%.
Yeah, that's evident with the TikTok posts you do.
So yeah, and that's the other thing is with TikTok, I'll get to the point where I can play it. I'll play it, and then I won't do a YouTube video, and I'll forget it. And that's why a lot of the stuff I'll post to the TikTok and never do to YouTube, because I did the bodybuilder thing, and I could play it, but then I completely lose it,
the next thing
and
already.
I've moved on. Yeah. So it's like, when I sit down to record, like I am like at the top of my game for that specific song, and I forget it. Like BTG was like, yeah, I couldn't play. Didn't he say that? Wasn't he like, I can't play a single thing right now?
He said he could even play one song. He played half of a song.
So
and I was surprised to hear that.
It is really interesting. It's like you know, there's something about training specificity where if you want to be good at playing live, you will practice, you know, like you're like you're playing live, like a rehearsal, and then you'll go play live a lot, and then you'll get better at playing live. And I think that I'm just, you know, when's the last time you played classical guitar on a stage?
Never.
I did like when I in high school, and like I started going to college, but I dropped out for classical guitar performance. Like I played actually, I don't even know if I ever played on a stage in college, but I did like some recitals when I was, you know, in high school.
I played on a stage in college. I mean, I went to music school for a year and I dropped out. I went to Musicians Institute in Hollywood, California. Same. And they had these live playing workshops. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I remember just trying to block out the stage fright. But
dude, it's crippling to me. I hate playing live.
But it wasn't classical guitar either. It was electric. So it was like, you know, easier, you know, in the sense that it wasn't so intricate, but it was still hard.
Dude, classical guitar's
unforgiving.
It really is. It's
that's
what I was talking about earlier, how I go into fight or flight mode and my brain just goes blank. It happens when I'm performing. I'm just like, well, do not know what's coming next.
Yeah, but you're right. It is a give and take. I mean, you're either building a live set or you're in recording mode, trying to put a catalog together. And if you have a full-time job and a life, it's very difficult to do both. And so that's why a lot of us are, you know, one-trick ponies in the sense that we're making videos and move on to the next video. We've already forgotten what we did. Yes.
I'm getting it to the point where I can actually execute it and like, because again, the thing that I love like making something and like eternalizing it in some kind of format, like a video. It's like the audio and the video. It's like eternalized in this 1 minute, 15-second video. Like I love that. I love getting to that point where I have this catalog of all this stuff that I've done. Like I just feel a lot of like satisfaction. So
it is nice to be able to look back.
Yeah,
it's like great. A little time capsule and little reminders of where you were at that point in your life. Because when you watch a video, you're going to know, I know I was doing this at this time. And, oh, yeah, when I did Star Tropics, I was moving or something, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, forgot where I was going with that, what I was getting at. But
where are we ever going, you know?
I don't even know, man. Now I'm depressed.
How do you follow up Gerudo Valley with Star Tropics?
Was that my next video?
Yes.
Again, I was just doing stuff I liked. I wasn't trying.
I love it.
My brother's friend commented on one of my videos, was like, you should do some Star Tropics.
Because he played Star Tropics with you, or because?
No, I mean, I thought back and I was like, I remember that game because I think you had like a yo-yo and like a baseball bat or something.
Nobody remembers that game.
Dude, yeah. I remember that game, but we didn't own it. So I was like, did we like rent it one time?
It was that one game you rented from Blockbuster that one weekend that you didn't finish.
So I checked it out and the music was awesome. I was like,
I like that cover,
dungeon music is sick.
Yeah.
And of course it was just like, nobody cares about Star Tropics. Talk about like, what do you do if you want to get more views? Don't play like obscure ass games from 1989.
It was like you had this hit that went viral that everybody watched, and you're like, I'm gonna follow that up with this.
Yeah.
And I love that you didn't care. You're just doing it.
I honestly never thought about that until you just said it. Like that probably wasn't the best.
Dude.
I probably should have followed on with something because I feel like.
Nah, man. I like what you did.
I mean, yeah.
Not caring.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't think about it. That's just what happened.
But you're genuine though in that sense that you You're doing it because you love it, not because you're pandering to the algorithm or the audience or whatever the hell's,
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes.
Well, that's cool.
Because I would have been like, how do I capitalize on this? You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that either, as long as you're enjoying it. Like there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm going to do this next. It's a calculated move. I think it's going to be successful. Also, I'm super passionate about this song. That's the best of both worlds. That's
check
great.
both boxes. That's good. Yeah.
And that's like you talked about the Make My Dreams Come True track.
Yeah.
That was the intersection of, I don't know, is that song obscure? It's maybe one of the more obscure.
No, I think if
that's
you're
not obscure, right?
Classic rock fan, you know that song.
So that's a nice intersection of something that was like really satisfying for me to do and fun and enjoyable. And then something also that's like will have more appeal than this super niche like video game music demographic of people.
Yeah, we box ourselves in a little bit in the
really
VGM community. You have to be both a video game fan. You have to be both a fan of that music, which those two things aren't always the same. You can just play the game and not even notice the music. And then you have to be a guitar fan.
Right.
All at once.
Classical. You have to.
And then classical.
I feel like
guitar.
classical guitar. This has like been the bane of my whole life. That like classical guitar is so obscure, and I tell people like I play classical guitar, or I'm sure you get the people looking at you like in disgust when they see your right hand. Like,
oh, dude, I hide that shit. I gotta put it in my pocket.
Really?
I just say, hey, what's up, dog? How you doing?
Oh no, I let it out.
I can't. I'm so self-conscious about it.
If people ask me, I say like,
the nails.
Play classical guitar, and they're like, why don't you just use a pick?
Yeah, I know.
Which is like,
it's like I don't know how to explain it to you. You just need all the fingers. PIMA. I don't know.
I had a colleague recently who had never noticed, and the look of like disgust in her face. She was like,
don't you trim your fingernails, young man?
She hated it. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to hit her up on Microsoft Teams. I'll be like, I'm going to send you a link. Like, it's just a Google search of like, do classical guitar players need nails? And it's like, I'm not just weird. It's a normal thing.
I think according to Brandon Acker, you do not. But he think he's playing as 18th century Ludi.
I disagree so hard.
I do too, man. You need him.
You need him. It just sounds better. It's easier to play. Like,
I don't want people to see my unkept nails because then I feel like I have to qualify it. Well, I play classical guitar. This is what you need. And the first thing they go to is probably, even though nobody's ever said anything to me.
Oh, I get it. I've gotten it so much, especially in high school. Because I played in high school. I played since I was like 10. So I've had long nails since I was 10.
Yeah, kids are ruthless. Yeah.
Yeah, people. Oh, it's your Coke nail. Great joke. People love that one.
Well, I keep the pinky short because I don't use it.
Oh, you need it for
you do.
For those
I was gonna. Okay,
man.
You do need it.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta grow my pink. Great.
Well, you don't need to, but I like to have it. It's one more finger for.
Okay.
Although mostly, actually, the Dragon Roost Island video, I'm only using these two. For all the Rasquiatos. Just.
That's interesting.
That was only because my middle finger. I think I messed it up, like playing like Megalovania so much.
Do you have like calluses on the front of your fingers?
No, but I will tell you, when I played Gerudo Valley so much at the beginning of last year, I ground the tops of my nails down. They were so thin that it was like painful.
Wow.
So I'm still kind of recovering. And then I was playing Megalovania so much. The tops got so thin, so I have to use super glue or silk wraps, or else my nails will like be so flimsy and just be so thin that it hurts.
So do you always use silk?
I do now.
So you Rasquiato so much it wears out your nails.
It literally sands down the top of the nail. So I do. It's kind of chipping off right now. I brought super glue with me though. I'm gonna add a little more. Just keep super glue on the top. The silk wraps I was using, but they ended up making the nail too thick, which affects the sound of regular playing. So
that is interesting, man.
Yeah, super glue is awesome.
That's a totally different like layer of complexity that somebody who doesn't play flamenco would never
you
understand.
wouldn't think.
No.
Like if you're doing that all the time, it's erosion. Like, it's grinding your nails down every time you strum.
I don't know what Sam's got something weird going on too. Sam Griffin, where he's got like this fake thumbnail.
He uses guitar player nails. GuitarPlayerNails.com.
What's that do?
So they actually are awesome. They're these just, you can buy these plastic ones, but they don't sound as good. So if they're white, they're likely just the preformed plastic ones that don't sound as good.
Yeah.
But they also have these strips that are in. Have you ever used like a ping pong ball to replace a broken nail?
Never. I've never broken a nail.
Really?
No. Never.
Do you really just always keep this hand in this pocket?
No, I don't do manual labor, so I'm a little bitch. I don't know. No. I've never broken a nail.
Have you ever like zipped up your pants and cut the nail in the zipper and like shredded it?
I'm sure at one time I've done that, but it's never shredded. I've never broke. I've never chipped.
So what happens to me a lot of times, I'll reach my hand out to get like a door or something, and I'll just go, and it just cracks. That's not happened to you? Crazy. Oh, I break nails all the time.
Wow.
So like so back in the day, it used to be ping pong balls. So you'd cut a ping pong ball and you'd glue it under the nail, and then you shape it, and it sounded great.
Wow.
But guitar player nails, the material is incredible. You have to like roll it so it's the shape of your nail. You glue it on and form it, and they sound incredible. And they're super resilient.
Do you use those too, or?
I do. If I break a nail,
Okay.
I have some with me actually. I have my guitar in my trunk. I have like a whole nail kit in my guitar case.
Okay, that I did not know about.
Yeah,
Guitar player nails.
I feel like Sam's always got a fake thumbnail or something.
He's got something.
Yeah,
He's got
they're
something.
awesome.
I didn't notice it when I met him in person. I saw him live last year.
Okay.
But I didn't.
Was that the NSP tour?
That was yeah. Actually, I don't think it was the NSV tour. I think it was I can't remember the
Those
guy's
are the only
name.
two ones that I know.
Family Jewels.
Oh, maybe they probably didn't come to the East Coast.
No. I think it was West Coast. Anyway, I saw him in LA
nobody
last
comes to
year.
Atlanta.
But yeah, when I saw him in person, I didn't notice anything weird about his hand. I was just kind of more starstruck than anything. I didn't notice some weird nails.
Isn't it funny? Like, it's so funny. Like, we've been talking for how long on like Discord alone?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, like seeing you in person, be like, dude, or even like I said, when you comment on my video, like, is you just some dude like doing videos? It's just kind of funny, that dynamic.
Yeah. Well, at least,
kind of like that starstruck.
We know we're both not AI
feeling.
generated to make the.
Well, do we know that?
Well, I don't think the viewers are going to know that, but we know. We know that.
We do that.
Do we know that? We know that, right?
I don't think I could tell you, even if I did know that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be tough to disprove. What would be? We would have to tour. We'd have to tour.
That's true. We'd have to play.
We'd have enough people like joining our show.
Have you ever thought about playing live at all?
I've thought about it.
Like they do like, what's the VGM convention?
It's the one that
What's it called again?
something con.
Yeah, probably. I went to Dragon Con recently in Atlanta.
What's that?
It's pretty big. It's like a Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, one of those like pop culture.
Did you cosplay?
I did.
What were you cosplaying?
Luigi,
Okay.
but a bard.
A bard Luigi.
From
So you went
Dungeons
around.
and Dragons.
You went around with a guitar.
I had a lute.
Were you just playing Mario stuff?
Yes. So
That's
we
so
had a whole
cool.
party. So we had like Shy Guy Sorcerer. I was Bard Luigi, Fighter Mario, Paladin Peach. And it was pretty awesome because I had my lute. I had a little amplifier. So
That's awesome, dude.
I was just cycling through Mario 1, Mario 2, athletic theme. That's why I learned all those map themes that I've been posting. That's why I learned them. So I could play map themes while we were walking around.
Is the crowd that generally our age or a little younger? Or
Dragon Con is, yeah. There's obviously a lot of young people, but there's like a lot of people our age too. It's like kind of a big deal in Atlanta. It's huge.
We're getting old, man.
I know. Don't tell me. Don't remind me. You don't have to tell me.
We're almost hitting that 4-0.
I know. It's funny. I feel like I never really felt it until like the last 2 years. I was always like, oh yeah, I'm young.
Yeah.
Until like the last 2 years, and I'm starting to realize like, oh, I'm getting there.
I don't know. I feel it all the time. Like I'm in bed by 9:30.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's that too. There's also, yeah.
We're gonna go out after this. Probably. I'm gonna order a non-alcoholic beer.
I've been keeping it NA.
Oh, I thought you were just a pound whiskey guy. Like you're just
no.
gonna get sloshed and.
I mean, I've been there. No, trying to keep it more healthy these days.
One thing I wanted to ask you before we go, because I know we're almost at time, your guitar support. I've been meaning to ask you. I've never seen anything like it.
I made it.
You made that?
I made it, yeah. So
you made your own guitar support.
So what's the one? The guitar lift. The plexiglass one.
Yeah.
It's literally a piece of plexiglass with suction cups on it.
Are you just suction cupping a piece of wood?
Yeah, so I went to Rockler woodworking store and I bought just a piece of African mahogany, and I have a bandsaw. Like I told you, I got into woodworking.
Yeah.
So I actually started making a classical guitar. I never finished it though because I got a
Oh,
million
really?
things going on. I've already asked Evan for a couple tips.
That's cool.
He actually helped me out a lot. So yeah, I just got a piece of mahogany, and I drew a shape that I thought was cool, and I cut it out. I sanded it, and I installed some grommets so that I could screw suction cups into it. Whereas the guitar support, you stick it through and put a nut on the other side. These just screw directly into the support.
I mean, it's big. It looks like so comfortable because it's not. It uses the entirety of your leg.
It's amazing, dude. And I like it better than the guitar lift. It's way more comfortable, and there's no foam or anything. It's just wood right on my leg, and I've never had any issues.
Have you ever had anybody ask you to make them one?
I think when I first this
Will
is
you
when I
make
was
me
on
one?
Sam's Discord a lot. I'll make you one. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to try it out.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, if you still like the woodwork,
it's easy to make. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally a piece of wood, and I still have a bunch of the hardware, like the little grommets and things. Like I have like a big bag of suction cups.
well, put me on the list.
Yeah, dude. It goes like 5 years out.
Okay. Oh, that's like Evan.
No, it's not like
Shout out to Evan Kingma.
it's not like a Kingma. No.
I've been waiting 5 years for my guitar, man.
Yours
I'm
is
waiting.
in the works though. I'm
I
jealous.
know.
They sound good, man. I think the Cecil's
Yeah.
was like,
Guitar CD.
yeah, his sounded great. I mean, they all sound great, but that one in particular, I don't know what it was about that one.
That was the Pinkma, right?
Yeah, the Pinkma sounded awesome.
He used
dude.
like the rarest elephant tusk from the
Yeah.
most extinct version from Africa.
the most endangered.
The most
The most
endangered,
endangered
rarest
woods.
tusk. That's because that's Cecil. He wants the most bougiest, unattainable thing.
That's funny.
You want to tell people where they can find you? And
Yeah, so on YouTube, I'm TV on Guitar, so youtube.com/TV on Guitar. On TikTok, I am Adam Monica Guitar. Not sure why I did that, but
you could probably change it if you want, right?
you can't change the name. I've changed the name. It is TV on Guitar, but I'm still at Adam Monica Guitar
Oh,
on
I
TikTok.
gotcha.
And then I'm also on Spotify. I've got just Gerudo Valley. I've got a single on Spotify, and I
Nice.
intend to do an album. So you can just search TV on Guitar, and it comes up pretty easily.
Nice, dude.
But yeah, I have a website, tvonguitar.com, which is just links to my other stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing going on there, really.
Nice, dude. Well, thanks for taking the time
Yeah,
to come out
dude.
today.
Thanks for having
This
me.
was
It
a
was
lot of
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go grab a beer.
Yes, 100%.